Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we'll be comparing a Toyota Tundra 1794 edition to a Ford F-150 King Ranch. Before we get in the video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Putting under the hood of the F-150, this one has the PowerBoost powertrain, which is a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's also paired to a hybrid system. It's good for 430 horsepower and then 570 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy averaged out is supposed to be in the low 20s. The other powertrain you'll see in the F-150s is the just regular version of this powertrain without the hybrid system, 400 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque. And it's basically a similar setup to what you have with the Tundra, because the Tundra also has a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 as standard, and then they have their hybrid that they call the iForce Max. Now, the standard powertrain is good for 389 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. The hybrid is good for 437 horsepower and then 583 pound-feet of torque. However, somehow Toyota has slightly worse fuel economy and basically slightly slower acceleration with both of the powertrains compared to Ford. It's probably because of the weight of the truck. Anyways, going over the hood here of the F-150 King Ranch, you guys can see got quite a bit happening there, and then we've got our gigantic daytime running lights with the upgraded headlights that you get with higher-end packages on the F-150. And you can see the fog light area with the parking sensors integrated into that chrome front bumper, chrome tow hooks. You can see quite a bit of chrome here on the front end, and then notice we have that grille that's specific to this, and then also the platinum as well. You've got that kind of like little dot things there in the grille, which is pretty interesting. Popping over to the Tundra 1794 edition. This one's more of like a normal color, if that makes sense. That color in the F-150 is pretty interesting, but normal Tundra hood. And then you guys can see massive chrome front grille here on the new Tundra. It's something that's been a little bit controversial, but I think the overall design here with the 1794 looks pretty good. And then you guys can see there with the daytime running light and then the LED headlights and then parking sensors here. We do have some body colored elements there on the front bumper, but just let me know which one you guys kind of like the look of more. Now notice you got that little King Ranch logo there for the wheel caps, which is pretty cool. And chrome wheels, again, like I said, you're gonna see chrome trim all over with both of these trucks. And you guys can see there with the wheel design, pretty simplistic. Got another King Ranch logo here on the side. Again, you're going to see tons of those. PowerBoost logo. This one has the trailer tow mirrors. And there's your full side view with the F-150, which just kind of has that normal F-150 appearance to it. Nothing crazy complex happening with the truck. And you can see this one's an FX4, by the way. Still utilizes leaf springs there in the back, and then you got the standard shocks, so they haven't changed too much with that. And so there's nothing that you get different from shock or suspension perspective with the King Ranch package. Now you can see here with the Toyota, a little bit different with the wheel design, a little bit more complex, not as brightly colored, right? It's not like bright chrome in your face, so just a little bit of a different route. Independent front suspension, just like the F-150. Pretty much every modern half-ton truck is going that route. Body painted fender flare, and then you guys can see there with the 1794 logo, and then chrome mirrors here. Notice it's black there on the bottom, then you got black trim around the window on the top, and then notice that it just like abruptly stops, and then it's body painted, kind of a weird line. And then got chrome trim there on the bottom portion. And I do like the side profile on the Tundra a little bit more. I think it looks a little bit better compared to the F-150, but again, it's probably personal preference. This one has the rear air suspension, so you've got multi-link in the Tundra as standard, but you can also get air suspension in the rear. So pretty cool setup, and you can tell because the little bag right there. But I can tell you it does make it ride a little bit smoother too with that rear air. Anyways, here's a key fob for the F-150. Notice we got remote start tailgate drop down. It's kind of like the most important functions on it. And you guys can see here with the bed area, we do have LED bed lights. We got a little power outlet there down below. Then we got our regular cargo light there at the top. And we've got Ford's bed step system. And then this one also has the tailgate raise function, which is a pretty neat luxury feature to have, right? And some people are going to be commenting, it's just one more thing to break. Well, you're not wrong, but it's still cool. Love how you have the giant King Ranch there on the back. Again, you got to flex to everyone that you got the Western-themed bad boy luxury truck. And then you got the chrome exhaust tip poking out the side, chrome for the bumpers, and yeah, like I said, again, I think it's a good-looking truck on most parts on the outside, and it's got some nice distinctive touches. Now, functionality in the Toyota key fob is the same. The remote start's built into the lock function, just like other Toyota models. So you have to like press it a few times and then hold it down, and then that'll remote start it. The tailgate drop down with the Toyotas is so fast, and it also has the step now that comes down with the tailgate automatically. It's kind of cool. Just don't stand next to it or it'll like kick you in the shin. But you notice we got the outlet here in the bed, and then this one has the composite bed. It still have LED lights, still have a cargo light there at the top, so that's nice. And it's nice that it has a composite bed because, again, with the Ford, that one had no bed liner or anything, so you'd have to do something so that you don't damage the paint. And I think this is so interesting that they have the button. They have a button right there on the side too. Like there's like so many different ways to open up the tailgate in the new Tundra. I'm guessing they have like thoughts in mind of like people loading stuff up and everything and just wanting to make it as easy as possible, which I get that because you can kind of like, you could elbow the side button on the taillight. Anyways, you've got like a mix between like the dark Tundra logo and then like the chrome badging and everything. The back end is just normal Tundra, and so there's not as much to basically show that this is a 1794 edition compared to like how the F-150 shows that it's a King Ranch on the outside, if that makes sense. Now, interior is very nice with the new King Ranch. Really nice leather trim all over the door panel. And this is the rear door panel, which automakers used to cheap out on, but now, you know, they can't because people have complained about it enough that, well, now we live in a world where you've got nice leather pointed door panels. You can see the wood trim right there as well. Speaker for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Then we have the King Ranch seats, which I think look really cool. Again, you got the King Ranch logo there on the top. Nice perforated leather, two-tone design, which looks really good. Got nice piping throughout. And so if you want some pizzazz with an F-150 interior, that's what the King Ranch interior gives you. And again, like I said, that towards that Western theme. And then you've got your heated seats for the rear. You got all the charging ports, and then another King Ranch logo down below. And under seat storage, which pretty typical flat loading floor. And then this one's got, well, you've got power side steps, which also kind of adds to luxury. So does the Tundra though, but the Tundras are more like, it looks like just like amp steps or something basically. Anyways, got sunshade there in the back, and then you guys can see we do have leather trim here in the back and then two-tone design. It kind of looks a little bit more utilitarian, but that's kind of like a Toyota thing. And the seats though are really nice, so you can see again, really nice with the leather and the design. So this thing that Toyota's been just really good at for a long time is seats. It's weird because the door panels look kind of funky sometimes, but their seats always look really good on their higher-end packages. Even with the last generation Tundra, I thought the seats looked pretty solid. Got the double floor mats where you can pick out the cloth one if you want, so you can just have rubber. I think that's a really cool thing to do, honestly, so that you can have the nice look if you want, and then you can obviously have the practical rubber floor mat if you want as well. And then you guys can see the cup holders here. Heated cooled seats in the back and then outlets, so you don't have any cooled seats in the F-150, so that's a plus for the Tundra. And then got your cup holder armrest set up, and going from that back over to the F-150, you guys can see here again with the door panel, all the trim pieces all across there, pretty nice. King Ranch logo, again, they won't let you forget this is a King Ranch. All of your window controls there with the mirrors that do power fold in. You got 3 settings for the memory seats as well. And then we got the mirror extenders because this one has the trailer tow mirrors, which is a pretty cool feature. They also have blind spot monitoring. And again, more King Ranch logos. Speaker on the headrest even, and this one has the full recline seats, so you guys can see that whole setup there on the seat for that. Pretty cool functionality with it. So you can, I guess, sleep in your King Ranch. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's so expensive. Probably have to sell your house to buy the truck, so and then you have to sleep in it. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, you got the pedal layout down below, and then notice all for light controls. You got the mirror lights there at the top. You got the tailgate drop down. Steering wheel is power adjustable with the F-150. Ford does that little American flag there on the side for all of the trucks. It's like every single truck tries to show how American it is. Even trucks that aren't made by American automakers, they still try to show how American they are. It's kind of just, you know, going towards the demographic they're going towards. But anyways, you guys can see there with all the window controls, and then you got like the memory seat function, the wood trim, and mirrors aren't as cool, I guess, in the Tundra because they don't have like the extend function or anything. But again, these front seats look really nice and they're comfortable too. So I think that Toyota did a good job with that. You got your power adjustments there on the side. And then notice pretty basic pedal layout. Same thing with that interesting floor mat situation. And then we've got a bunch of controls right here. The main stuff is if you want to turn off like auto stop start, for example, heat the steering wheel button. And then notice power adjustable steering wheel. And then you got more nice trim there. Again, the dash is another place that it's kind of, we'll kind of talk about it. It's kind of interesting what Toyota does there with the dash on their vehicles. But built Ford tough, right? So here's a steering wheel in the King Ranch. So it's interesting, they've gone for like that cowhide texture with the leather, again, Western theme. And so they try to really show you that like there's multiple cows that created this truck basically. You got the controls for the center stack, your King Ranch logo right there again. And then you've got your cruise control. It's adaptive. It does have the lane keep assist as well. And I believe Blue Cruise too with it. It's pretty standard for higher end packages on the F-150s to have them. It's how they're ordered out and everything. But anyways, full digital gauge cluster. Now this is one thing that you know, Ford used to use and other automakers when they had analog gauge clusters to like differentiate their models. Like it would have had like a King Ranch gauge cluster, whereas this just has the regular F-150 digital gauge cluster. So there's no differentiation with this versus any other F-150. So definitely, I guess, makes it feel slightly less special in a sense, because you don't have like a, I don't know, King Ranch gauge cluster. But you guys saw the drive modes. Now, camera system, really liking the new F-150 because you've got a pretty big view here on the screen itself, and like you can go full screen view, which is great. And you've got, you know, this full 360 camera system, which shows all of the angles on the truck, which is great from a practicality perspective. And resolution on the screens is actually pretty good too. So I think they've done a good job with that. But you've got like that main screen there. And then you guys can see here with response time, solid. And I believe the King Ranch does have the massaging seat function. We'll see here. Yeah, we do. That's a nice luxury feature to have, right? It's cool. Ford was like the first one to introduce it, and everyone's taken forever to put massaging seats in their trucks. And then you got the auxiliary screen there on the side. Got nothing too crazy happening with that. And yeah, overall, you guys know I'm a fan of the horizontal screen. And that's for the outlets, that whole situation. And then you've got like the camera button right next to it. You got parking sensors, hazard lights, and then you got like your giant stability control button as well. And Pro Trailer Assist with it, right? Trailer brake controls. You got the drive mode select. You have a locker in the rear. Again, this is an FX4. And then you do have 4-wheel auto as well as 4-wheel high and 4-wheel low. And it's just on the fly. You just press the buttons and it just does it. Heated cooled seats, heated steering wheel, dual zone climate, and then another King Ranch logo because you can never have enough of those. Wireless phone charger down below with the truck. And then notice the trim right there. Again, it kind of has like a more bespoke F-150 interior. The thing I like about these Western themed packages is they kind of go all out with them, which I think is pretty cool. And then, of course, another King Ranch logo. Can never have enough. And then you got Ford's regular center console, though. And then notice with the glove box, more King Ranch logos. Again, man, maybe we should like count how many logos are in the truck. It's like 2 million. And then popping up top here, what you guys want to know is power sliding window, which is like most trucks. Be shocked if it didn't have it. And dark colored headliner. That one doesn't have a sunroof, but you can get a panoramic if you want. Now with the Tundra digital gauge cluster, yet again, right? So what you'll notice here with the Tundra is it just has Toyota's regular upgraded steering wheel. So this is something that I've been kind of disappointed with Toyota is like this steering wheel looks really nice when it's in, you know, a TRD Sport, which is like built off the SR5. But in something like this or a Platinum or, you know, a TRD Pro, it's kind of like, it doesn't exactly feel right. Like I think they should have, you know, done another steering wheel for the higher end packages. Let me know what you think on that. But it's just like when you can get that same steering wheel in a $50-something-thousand truck, it's like it kind of feels off getting, you know, having the same steering wheel in like a $70,000 truck, right? Now as for the digital gauge cluster, you know, some people might say it doesn't look as like techy as the Fords, like it doesn't look as like modern, but I still think I like it. I like the graphics on it. I don't know. I'm a fan, and it's just overall it's cool. We've got a ton of different drive modes too, so it's kind of like a new thing with trucks is having so many different drive modes. But the thing that's funny is like, despite trucks having so many different drive modes, I find myself literally just driving it in like the base normal mode whenever I drive trucks. Like it's cool that the trucks have all the different drive modes, but it's like, am I going to use them? Probably not. So I'm not saying that automakers are wasting their time by having the drive modes, but I'm also saying that, you know, maybe they kind of don't need to do as many or spend as much time on that whole setup. Anyways, we've got, again, horizontal screen, really solid camera view. That's something that Toyota's done a really good job with, is having this new camera view that definitely improves things with the truck quite a bit. As you guys can see here, super similar to Ford's system. And, you know, all the automakers know what the other automakers are doing at any given time, and so they, you know, make tweaks and stuff like that as they're developing their vehicles to make it so that they stay competitive, right? It's just the smart business thing to do. Now, as for the rest of the screen, my thoughts on it, I think it's great, but Toyota has the smaller screen as well you can get with the Tundra, and the functionality is the same with both the screens. This one's just bigger, so if you just want a bigger camera view, that's what the screen gives you. Other than that, like, yeah, there's nothing like special, I guess, about this, and that's kind of what screens are going towards. It's like, do you want the little one or do you want the big one? Another good example is like in Stellantis products, the same thing. They have like smaller and bigger screens that do the same thing, basically. But anyways, dual zone climate controls, heated cooled seats, heated steering wheel, you know, all the normal stuff. And then you have that button for the suspension, right? Because again, this has the air suspension. Hazard lights, stability control, camera button, and then the trailer assistance right there. And then you got your parking brake shifter for the 10-speed automatic transmission. And if you guys are wondering, both 10 speeds are pretty solid in terms of the shift times. You got your drive mode, tow haul mode, select, and then the drive line select, which is pretty annoying in the Tundras because it takes a second to go into four-wheel high or four-wheel low. It's not just like a on-the-fly system that's super snappy. So some people have had quite a few complaints about that, and I've taken the Tundra off-road and I had some annoyances with it, and I've seen other people complain about that too. Anyways, look at the dash materials and everything. Again, this is the thing with the Tundras. It just still, you can tell it's like, it's got that utilitarian appearance to it. Lots more like plasticky looking things all over. And we do have a panoramic sunroof in this truck. And then you guys can see with that, we've got the controls for like the window. The whole window goes down, which is pretty cool. And then this truck also has the camera mirror system. So let me just quickly wrap things up. From a pricing perspective, that $1,794 stickered for like $66,000. A King Ranch now with a power boost, or sorry, because that one had the regular V6 with the Tundra. So a regular V6 F-150 King Ranch, you're going to be like mid-70s. So there's like pretty much a $10,000 price difference between the trucks. Is the King Ranch $10,000 more truck? No. That being said, though, it definitely does have a nicer looking interior compared to the Tundra. And the Tundra has really nice seats, but again, the dash and the door panels in the Tundra, they like look like they just, I don't know, they don't look like they're as well thought out as what you have with the Ford. The Ford interior definitely feels more on the luxury side of things, and it has massaging seats, right? That's a big win. But anyways, yeah, so that's just kind of my opinion. I don't think the King Ranch is $10,000 more truck, but I do think that it is a slightly nicer truck. So let me know which one you guys would pick.